My name is Ryan Jordan. I'm a lecturer in history. I came in 2006. I believe this is my second or third year with the union. All lecturers are dues payers. They have to elect to be actual members, and then I've been an officer. I think this is my second year as an officer in the union. Well, as a lecturer in my department, it's hard to know what actually is going on right now because we don't get a lot of straight information. But I will be cut likely after this year, and then in addition, I've been seeing increased class sizes, and so I really have questions about the teaching mission of the university and exactly how who is going to do the teaching. And it seems to me as though a lot of the solution is going to be to just cut classes rather than try to make the tenured Senate faculty teach more. You could, as a student, you could very easily see much larger class sizes, and really a university that is not particularly interested in undergraduate education, as far as I'm concerned. That's what I'm seeing. Well, most of us who are non-tenure track people, lecturers or adjunct professors, we normally teach around town, or you want to have some contacts elsewhere, because you know that on a year-by-year basis, you really are treated as expendable labor, and you know that coming in, and academia being the way that it is, it's a very, very difficult, line of work to go into, and especially in this environment. So I have employment at USD. I'm also a lecturer there, and I'm hoping to also keep a class or two at Palomar College, though that's up in the air. But USD is better. There's better funding, so I won't be unemployed. But the job market has, at least in my field, more or less collapsed, I think would be a way to put it. I mean, I've seen, and I do 19th century U.S. history, you see a collapse or a decline of, from there used to be where there were 30 or 35 jobs, now there are literally 5 or 6. This is just the beginning of a 2 or 3 year further contraction. My understanding of the budget is that in the next couple of years, a lot of lecturers could be gone, that you're going to have a dramatic reduction in the faculty, but that it's the teaching faculty which will be hit much harder than the research faculty. I did go to UCLA as an undergrad, and I saw this incredible sort of stratification where you have very, very well-paid research faculty, and then the underclass of lecturers and adjuncts. And increasingly, a larger and larger percentage of classes are being taught by people who are not tenure-track faculty, who have no chance to get tenure, limited or no benefits, and these sort of one-year contracts. You have the real faculty, and then you have the others. And there is this very big distinction, and I don't think it's a very equitable system at all. And it is somewhat ironic because many faculty certainly like to pretend that they are progressive or that they are sort of more liberal, and yet the model I'm seeing really is a corporatist model. It's very similar to what you see on Wall Street or in corporations, where there's the few and the many, except here there is this tenure system, which is, I guess there's no tenure in the private sector. In a fair world, or in a more equitable situation, the tenured faculty or tenure track faculty would be asked to teach more. That might happen, but even, first of all, I'm not sure that would be enough to pick up the slack, as it were. And I think that the complaints from the faculty about their research being infringed by teaching, the top talent, it's almost like a banking executive or even with the administration. Why are people paid $500,000 or $1 million a year, and what are they doing that's so important? Teaching, and it's just not valued, whether or not they purposefully are disdaining teaching. When you're reviewed on your research or you're reviewed on your professional activities, that's what you're going to focus your time on, because that's the way the game is played. So that, I think a lot of students and parents just aren't aware of that, and so that will have an impact on education. Students will adapt, people adapt. The education, so-called, will get done, the classes will get taught, but it will take students much longer to finish their degrees, and they will not have very much contact with professors, which is already difficult to do. It's not as though this is not a small school, and that begs the question: what are taxpayers paying for? I mean, this is a university that used to be very cheap to go to. My mom actually went to UCI in the 1960s. I believe that she was able to work her way through. I know that she did not need any loans, did not need her parents. What are our priorities? It's a good question. And the answer I'm seeing is that, this is, it almost resembles a third world country. And if you're wealthy enough to afford an education, you can have it, and otherwise you're screwed.